show organizers in the country. We're in Atlantic City for TSNN's Awards and Education Conference. Hi everybody, I'm Carrie Fairneck with CNTV. TSNN not only recognizes the top show organizers in the country, but also raises the bar through education. To kick things off, Randy Acker from Exhibitor Magazine led a panel of certified trade show marketers from GE Healthcare, Marvin Windows and Doors, and Minitab. They exhibit at dozens of events every year and shared best practices for show organizers, including putting very specific information about attendees in the prospectus.
We really want to know who are our target audience, and the more information you can give us to define that, the better for us, and the better we'll be able to justify being at that show.
Getting the information of narrowing it down, like who is the attendee, not specifically the exhibitor versus press versus guest versus attendee, but what does that attendee do, and what sort of justification or power do they have within their organization to make decisions, and want them to be the decision makers, but at what level?
Acker says the leads belong to the exhibitors, so it's important for show organizers to give them what they need to see the lead through the sales cycle. Other tips include providing training webinars, videos, and brochures for new exhibitors, continually meeting face-to-face with your exhibitors throughout the year, and providing sponsorships that position them as thought leaders and create engagement.
It's always a challenge to figure out what exhibitors are thinking, so it was great to have some input into what really matters to them and what we can do to remain relevant, to keep those exhibitors coming. Obviously, that's the core to a successful conference.
Up next, Jeff Fugate from Experian led a discussion on how to recognize the difference in trends and fads in technology. Show organizers Mark Bogdansky and Andrea Barr say no question technology is transforming the trade show experience.
What's the difference between a soft trend and a hard trend? What's real versus what's not? I Googled this morning event technology trends, and it's unbelievable how many things come up.
It's more about learning for the future. When you start to actually look at the data and see where people are going and where they're spending their time, that's a lot more honest feedback than what people are actually telling you. Because when they're actually going to sessions and spending the time listening to a session, and at the same time they're also going to exhibitors who are focused on those same topics, they're interested in that.
Exhibitors, if you ask them the question, they're usually pretty honest. Attendees, on the other hand, they may not have a goal in mind when they go. They may, but they may not. They're just trying to see what's new and what to catch up on. Listen to what they have to say, ask questions.
Knowing what technology is worth taking a chance on can be tough. But by paying attention to what your contemporaries are doing, getting good data, and understanding attendee trends, you can make sure your technology choices are well informed.
I like to do beacon technology. I think it's something that we're going to be looking into. We do have, we know we have soft spots on the show floor. You can see them. We hear about it from our exhibitors. I guess I'm a little afraid of some of the what the beacon's going to show us, but I guess it's we can try to take corrective action.
Rachel Wimberly hosted the State of the Industry panel with CISO Chair Tony Kalenka and IAEE Chair Julia Smith. They took a deep dive on a range of hot-button issues for trade show professionals.
It is a shame, in my opinion, that we have to talk about and think about these things, but it is indisputable today that we have to. The likelihood that any one event will be the target is very, very low, but the consequence, if it is off the charts.
One of the things that I think a lot about is not so much how are we going to attract the next generation into our industry, but how are we going to keep them? Because a lot of us in this room are from that generation of, you had to do your time, you had to put in these long hours and long weekends and lots of overtime, and we still do a lot of that, and there's a lot of travel away from your family. And I think that some of the coming generations are maybe a lot more balanced than we are in their expectations for what their work-life balance is all about. The Meetings Mean Business advocacy effort is basically a group that represents all of the various aspects of meetings, and it's an advocacy group whose goal is to go out there and raise awareness of issues that can impact our industry.
So we want them to be aware of our businesses so that when something comes up, they can say, wait a minute, didn't we talk to some guys? Those guys are in here every year. What were they? Maybe we should reach out to them and see if they have an opinion on this.
Education comes along with inspiration here at TSNN, and who more inspiring than Ron Jaworski, Jaws, right?
That is correct.
So excited to be here with you, NFL legend. You talked about some no-brainer advice. Give us a quick summary.
You know, no-brainers are things we do every day, but we don't think about them. And in my no-brainer principles, I think integrity is very, very important. But probably, you know, I always carry them with me. Isn't that?
Let's check the notes.
How do you like
check
that?
the notes.
How do you like? I carry them with me.